earlier this year, Travis Scott had a virtual concert that he did on the gaming app Fortnite that was viewed by 24 million people. And following him, artists like Marshmello and others have also gone into this virtual reality concert thing. Just yesterday, Napster. You want to remember Napster, right?
I forgot that name.
Yeah, Napster, they've been doing streaming just like Spotify, just like Apple Music. Napster was acquired by a English virtual reality company called Melody VR, and Melody VR has staged virtual reality concerts for Post Malone, John Legend, and Khaled. And so today, Jay-Z and Tidal just invested $7 million in a company called Caesorium, and they are moving into virtual reality concerts. Now, I talk about this. I talk about this just as a lot of Live Nation venues have decided that they're going to put on their red lights on September 1st as a sign of protest that they're ready to start doing concerts again. That they're losing so much money. Right. So the question that I put out to you is this where we're headed? We're headed to, you want to go to a concert, you don't even have to get dressed anymore. You just put on your headgear and you're there.
Come on. And it's cheaper too. Come on.
It's convenient, less violence. But it's something about having that experience, being in an arena, and the energy. You know what I mean? I think the artists have to put on it's harder to put on a show in a virtual realm than it is, when you're in the stage with 30,000 people and it's roaring. It pumps you up as an artist. What about that, D? Because I know you do it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the live experience, and then like when everybody touching and agreeing in one space, you know what I'm saying? That's just gonna bring the spirit forth, like in the gospel sense. So, well, yeah, I feel you.
I remember, and I'm pretty sure all of y'all have concert memories. I remember the most powerful concert I've ever attended to date was watching Prince in 2004 in Raleigh, North Carolina. 19,000 people sold out, and this dude was on stage with an acoustic guitar going through all of his hits. No stage lights, no pyrotechnics, no nothing. Just him and a guitar. The most powerful thing I've ever seen in my life. And now we're trying to translate that into virtual reality.
But again, it comes down to economics. If the dollars make sense virtually, it's like, why would I want to go back to traditional concerts? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, when you think about it, what would be really awesome, and I know the technology is there, but I think it's not as widespread, is when you look at the Oculus. So the what's the man, real time, real life?
Yeah, Oculus VR. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Virtual reality.
Right, and you start to look at a concert with virtual reality. I think eventually, man, we're gonna go there. That'll provide a better virtual experience as well, because you can be right there, maybe up close. Everybody can get up close, instead of you having to pay $800 for a front row seat. I don't know, man. What you think about that?
I'm just like most of y'all. I'm a technology junkie, but just like most of y'all, I miss record stores. I miss walking in a record store. I miss the aesthetic.
I know it ain't never coming back, dog.
And it ain't never coming back.
A great pastime, man.
But the concern for me is if we get into a situation where virtual reality becomes the norm, and what are record companies and artists going to really spend their money on? Are they going to invest in live? Look, if you do a virtual reality concert, you cutting out hundreds of thousands of expenses right out the gate.
Exactly.
Your overhead gets cut by a whole lot.
75%.
You know what I mean? We're talking about the parking attendants. You're talking about food, insurance. You're talking about
man.
You're talking about equipment. You're talking about security, the venue itself. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of feels like we would lose that aesthetic. So
when you think about, because I didn't think about the insurance piece, because I was totally not oblivious, but it just wasn't on my mind. Like, man, a lot of artists are getting robbed with the insurance piece, because hip hop concerts you have to spend more, to have that venue, because it's hip hop,
right?
And I don't even think that's fair, because every artist don't have violence at their concerts, but I think it's just another way. Go ahead, Will. Go ahead, Danny.